Hi there. Welcome to Breaking News Channel. Please subscribe to our channel for more updates. Today's breaking news is Deep State War Against President Trump Takes Bizarre Turn Down China Road. An interesting Foreign Intelligence Service, SVR, report circulating in the Kremlin today states that the deep state war against President Donald Trump has taken a bizarre and radical turn after the State Council of the People's Republic of China moved swiftly yesterday to protect Trump, whom they, and Russia too, believe holds the best hope for preventing a full neocon takeover of the U.S. government, and should that happen, would mean World War III. According to this report, the deep state war against President Trump, he calls the single greatest witch hunt in American history, reached a stunning new level of danger this past week, with so many lies and spurious allegations being made against America's new leader. Some have begun calling it as 7 days in May, and whose destructive power is being hailed by the U.S. mainstream propaganda media as exampled by the CIA-linked operative and CNN reporter, Dana Bash, who in cheering this deep state attack against Trump cheerfully said they know how to get back, even if you're the president. With the esteemed Professor Emeritus of Russian Studies at Princeton and NYU Stephen Cohen being one of many, warning that this deep state war on President Trump has now become the greatest national security threat America has ever faced. And First Deputy Chairman of the Russian Federation Council, Upper House of Parliament, Committee for Defense and Security Franz Klintsevich, likewise, warning that Trump's enemies are attempting to impeach him from office. This report continues. China's State Council, yesterday, sent a series of urgent communiques to Robert Novick, who is the co-managing partner of the global law firm Wilmer Hale, whose offices span the world and are located in the United States, Europe and Asia. As Robert Novick was personally hired in 2006 by then ExxonMobil CEO, and now U.S. Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson, to manage this global energy giant's legal interests, this report details, his Wilmer Hale law firm is also among the top law firms in China, and who, after communicating with China's State Council yesterday, quickly approved his firm's releasing from duty one of its top attorneys, named Robert Mueller, to oversee a U.S. Department of Justice investigation into the Trump administration's links with Russia. The negotiations to have Robert Mueller oversee this investigation of the Trump administration's links with Russia, this report explains, were conducted by another Wilmer Hale attorney named Jamie Gorelick, who is well positioned for this task as she is the personal lawyer for President Trump's daughter Ivanka and her husband Jared Kushner, both of whom are Trump's most trusted advisors. The Wilmer Hale law firm's links to President Trump further extend, this report says, to his former campaign manager Paul Manafort, whose personal attorney is another top Wilmer Hale partner named Reginald Brown. Being released by Wilmer Hale to join Robert Mueller in his investigation of the Trump administration too, this report continues, are another two of their top attorneys named Aaron Zebley and James Quarles. With Wilmer Hale lawyers now firmly in control of the Trump-Russian link investigation, and they're, also, having close, personal and long-standing ties with the Trump family and their associates. This report says, this global law firm now, actually, controls the fate of not just President Trump, but that of world peace too. As to the strategy of how Wilmer Hale will defend President Trump against his deep state enemies, this report notes, one need only examine the pasts of their lawyers now engaged in this war, to include Robert Mueller, who as a former FBI director under both the Bush and Obama administrations is a decorated Vietnam War combat veteran noted for his dogged persistence, loyalty and honesty. Aaron Zebley, who as an FBI agent was promoted by Robert Mueller to be his chief of staff and oversaw some of America's most critical investigations into counterterrorism in the aftermath of 9/11, but who a week prior to the 2012 U.S. presidential election, kept secret the affair of General David Petraeus that could have damaged President Obama's chances for re-election. James Quarles, who was a member of the Watergate Special Prosecution Force, WSPF, in a prior deep state war against then-President Richard Nixon, and whose most definitive account of was written by former Nixon White House staffer Jeff Shepard, titled "The Secret Plot to Make Ted Kennedy President: Inside the Real Watergate Conspiracy," and that eerily mirrors what is now occurring against President Trump. Drawing on his insider knowledge in previously unpublished documents, Jeff Shepard shows that it didn't take long for Ted Kennedy and his allies to smell blood after the Watergate break-in. They set out to exaggerate and prolong the scandal, not merely to destroy Richard Nixon, but to undermine the entire Republican Party and pave the way for another Kennedy presidency in 1976. In the process, working closely with the willing media, they pioneered the politics of personal destruction, which has tarnished our country ever since. Shepard reveals how this Kennedy conspiracy included members and staffs of the Senate, the House, the Justice Department, and the Special Prosecutor's Office. They used delay tactics and obfuscation to postpone the indictments and avoid trials of the handful of real Watergate criminals. Shepard argues that the abuses of power by Kennedy's cronies dwarf those of the administration they savaged. Among those he singles out for re-evaluation are Republican turncoat John Dean, Mark Deep Throat Felt, reporter Bob Woodward, and a young lawyer for the House Judiciary Committee named Hillary Rodham. Important to note, two of these Wilmer Hale attorneys now embroiled in this deep state crisis, this report continues, is Ivanka and Jared Kushner's personal lawyer Jamie Gorelick, who served in the President Bill Clinton administration during the 1990s as the General Counsel of the Department of Defense and Deputy Attorney General, and who was blamed for causing the single greatest structural cause for 9/11. By her writing a memo, in 1995, called "The Wall," that kept the FBI from being able to communicate with the CIA. In what SVR intelligence analysts in this report call a clear example of fighting fire with fire, this report concludes, the knowledge of how the American deep state is structured and operates is well known to all of these Wilmer Hale attorneys. And at China's bidding, have now sided with President Trump to avert World War III.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to our channel for more updates.